Hey guys, welcome back to Ralph's house where we paint from the heart and we have a lot of fun doing it. Mike and I were out on the road and we saw this silo. Mike said, "Ralph, look, we don't see many of them around here in these parts anymore." So he hit the brakes and we went and talked to this old farmer and asked him if we could paint his barn. He said, "How much you gonna charge me?" I said, "We're gonna charge you. We just want." He started getting gallons of paint out of the barn. We said, "No. We mean on a canvas." He actually wants this for his wife. So we're having a lot of fun. I mean, go draw things, paint things out there. I tell you what, I love getting these pictures. I got this picture, Melissa over in Murphy, North Carolina, up in the Smoky Mountains, or in the foothills of the Smokies. Melissa Adams painted me this picture. She sat down with the little bucket of apples under the apple trees and did this drawing for me, and I thought that was mighty special. I sure am proud of that. That's going to go on our wall, our memorial wall, where we get all these pictures. Send me your drawings, I love them. That's special. I tell you what, we're going to get to work now. This was a sketch we did, and you'll see it in the first series. You'll see we're out in the grass. We're sitting out here in the middle of this cow pasture painting this picture, and it was getting hot. My paint was drying quicker than I could get it on the canvas. And we're working with acrylics, not oils, and in that sunshine, it was just drying fast. So we did the sketch. This is just the drawing, and now we've come back to the studio. Let's make this thing work. See if we can't put this together and get that effect we had out there. Now I've got my white paint and this is we call it a chromium green. I never used any of this, but it looks kind of green. Ultramarine blue, I love. That's how I'm going to darken my greens. Phthalo green, I just love the color of that. That looks pretty neat. And some yellow ochre. And we're just going to get this kind of filled in a little bit more. We're going to start at the bottom, work all the way up, then we're going to start at the top and come all the way back down again. We're going to pile layer and layer on this, see if we can't get this to do what we want. How's the camera, Mike? We in the right place?
We're good. We're good.
Good deal. I have to check with the boss. You know how that goes, boys. Let's grab some of this green we ain't seen a whole lot of here. See what this works. And because we got the drawing, I'm just going to kind of get a sketch on here. Get some color in here. This was a real neat field. It had a lot of, the grass was really dark. You see how I cut this in with some red in the drawing? I had some of that on my canvas, and that under the greens, that just makes a good dark brown color, like a shadow. There was trees behind us casting these shadows, and that's why we had that. Wasn't it? I remember that now. We're going to make sure we get all that kind of stuff in there. Here we have, right there, we have the old disc arrow. When you're painting your stuff, don't try to paint around it, paint over it. See, it didn't cover it up, but it doesn't look like you stopped at the edge and outlined it either. So we're just trying right now, let's get some paint on here. Get something to play with. Let's get some paint in this picture. You know, this is a fun thing what we do. I love to paint. Just all this neat stuff out there. And if we don't get pictures of this and make pictures of this, who's going to do it? Well, guys, let's be the ones that do it. And I'm just trying to get this on here. And I'm probably getting out of the picture here. Am I all right?
You're all right.
Okay. Well, y'all don't need to see me anyway. We're looking at the painting. And you're probably better off looking at the painting than me anyway. But this was the old dirt road that kind of went up there to the silo, up there to where he keeps all his equipment. He had this shed attached to it up there, and he had all sorts of neat stuff under there. This was out in the country. This was down in Rock Springs, Georgia. Actually, this is the road I live on. It is on the other end of the road, and I drove by this for years, and I come home every evening, and I see the sun sitting behind this, and I think, that sure would be a neat picture to paint. So we finally stopped and talked to the farmer, and he said he didn't mind a bit. And so I'm not trying to hide my strokes. We're just going to throw them on. I'm going to grab a little bit darker too, get some darker in here. Because we're going to have, we're going to put some light flowers in this field. You can't have the light without having some dark in there with it. Let's just cut it in there. Grab a little that yellow ochre and put it here with it. Just give me a ground. Just that kind of make it look more like a ground under that grass. Just throw it in there. Build up layers of paint. A lot of water right now. We're just moving a lot of paint. Get this covered up a little bit. Now we're going to come forward in layers. So those trees next to the ground, right there, they're going to be dark. That's what at the base of the tree. So this part of the hill needs to be light. This part dark for our flowers, and we'll end up kind of lighter back up here on the hill. And we're creating that depth effect by doing that. Just put it on there. We've got a lot of canvas cover. I'm going to grab a bigger brush real quick. But this is a ground effect. You don't need to be smooth. Don't worry about it. Let your strokes show. It's all going to get covered up, and it'll all work to come out in the end. So just put it on there. I'm going to grab a bigger brush than this right here. See if this won't help us cover a little bit more ground a little bit quicker. Every little bit helps. Let's get some ground color in here. Don't make sure your canvas is covered good. You don't want any canvas showing through. Place right here where we got covered up. We're just getting the paint on there. Get the paint on there. Shadows of the tree. We'll get some more dark in here. Especially around this right here. We'll be casting shadows on the ground. Get over that disc here. We're going to put it back in there anyway. That hillside. I want those green flowers in there. Now this isn't a smooth yard because this is out in the pasture. So don't try to make it smooth. Push some grass strokes, see? And get some little strokes up in there. That kind of gives a little grass effect to it. Or so the grass grows up, not across. So now we got something to set our stuff in. See how we're building layers now? It's not just flat. But all we did was put a bunch of stuff on there and kind of move it together, see? Now, when you're doing little grass, of course, the farther back up you go, less strokes you'd actually see. So just make them lighter and lighter and thinner and thinner. Start at the top, though, and work down so your strokes are plying on top of each other. We're trying to get a little grass effect going in here. Now, this is the fun part about painting. I mean, learning to do different things, different stuff. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up my picture. Guess what? It's paint. We'll put more on there. We'll get a little bit more green in here. Put some of that into that other. Just apply the paint into it. Put paint in there. Right now, we're just making grass strips. This is a lot of fun. I love doing this. I'll tell you what, it just don't get no better than this. Grab your paintbrush and start painting. Drive around your neighborhood. And I guarantee you, and I don't care where you live, there's these old country places and you see them. If you don't paint them, one day they're not going to be there and you're going to say, I sure always should have done that. Guys, that's what we're trying to show you. Grab a brush. You saw in this first canvas or at the start of this painting when we were doing the drawing, plein air painting, sitting out in a cow pasture next to these farm implements. These trees behind us, there was a deer stand right behind us where the guy had his deer stand up the tree. So this pasture probably has some good deer coming through here. His son's probably a deer hunter. We're back here in these woods doing his painting. Guys, that's fun. That's telling a story. In fact, we'll probably do a sketch of that deer stand one of these days. My wife would die. Oh, we shot a deer. Let's see these strokes, let them show. We're on the ground, we're in the grass. Don't be afraid to do that. I tell you what, guys, this is a lot of fun. This is going to be a fun thing to do, and if we get to do what we were seeing that day, this is a beautiful pasture, beautiful field, and we're going to get there by keep putting paint on top of paint. Like I said, we're going to work all the way up, come all the way back down. Y'all come.